It's 10 a.m. and this is WKYT MidMorning. Authorities are searching for answers after a deadly ATV crash claims the life of a toddler.
Kentuckians lend their support to the rescue efforts in Louisiana, where floodwaters are still rising.
And the fight for higher wages for city police officers in Richmond is underway right now.
This is WKYT MidMorning.
Well, good morning and welcome to you. It's good to have you along. Tuesday, August 16th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Okay, a lot of people got storms yesterday, but a lot of people didn't.
Right, it was hit or miss, as it has been, and it looks like that's the case once again today. Let's check in with Micah for weather.
Yeah, and I think today is actually a little better opportunity to actually get some of those storms later on this afternoon. That is your best bet to actually pick that up. And you can see the rain obviously is still back west. It's going to take some time to get here. That bulk of the rain right here, that won't make its way into our region. It's actually out ahead of that is what you're going to see some things spark up and actually flow right into the region right now. It looks really good outside. But as we get into the afternoon, not so much. I'm going to show you when I expect those storms to pop up, coming up in a few short minutes.
Micah, thank you. First this mid-morning on WKYT News, state police are still trying to figure out what led to an ATV crash that killed a 2-year-old boy.
It happened in Owen County at the intersection of Georgetown and Greenup Roads. Investigators say Spencer Lawson was driving with a 24-year-old woman and the child when the ATV overturned. Neighbors say the roads were wet from rain, but the ATV was not moving very fast. Still, police say the woman passenger suffered serious injuries. They say the toddler was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
A lot of the neighbors who ran over to help, they were all, crying, and they're helping as much as possible, controlling the traffic and trying to keep everybody from seeing everything.
The Owen County coroner has not released the name of the child. Neighbors believe the roads were the main factor for the accident. State police say toxicology results are pending for the driver of the ATV. Now, in Louisiana, the danger is far from over for parts of the state ravaged by flooding, which has killed at least 7 people. But more help is on the way.
The water's still coming up in a lot of areas. Hundreds of volunteers from the American Red Cross, including 2 from the Lexington chapter, will be making this 800-mile trip to help out flood victims. They're leaving this morning from Lexington. As the waters keep rising in southern parts of Louisiana, help from all over is now arriving to lend helping hands. One of the worst affected areas is in Louisiana state capital of Baton Rouge. Neighborhoods in that city, along with many other areas, are left underwater following the historic flooding in the state. More than 20,000 people have been rescued since the flooding started Friday. Thousands of them forced from their homes into emergency shelters. The American Red Cross says a total of 500 volunteers are on their way. Don Champion has the latest from Baton Rouge.
Floodwaters in Ascension Parish just south of Baton Rouge continued to rise overnight as the Amite River began creeping over roadways. Mayor Mike Lambert joined sandbagging efforts trying to save homes from taking on water.
We're not going to give up. We're going to stay to the bloody end. And if it knocks us down, we're going to get back up. We're going to rebuild.
The Amite River is just one of many left dangerously high following historic flooding in Louisiana. This displaced resident broke down in tears, seeing the destruction to her home for the first time.
This is my entire life that I worked my entire life for, just washed away.
Others like Haley Brouillet are breathing a sigh of relief. She and her dog Sassy were rescued by a Good Samaritan from their submerged car over the weekend.
Couldn't do it from the boat, so I just jumped in. Had to do what I had to do.
Oh, I was just thankful. I'm just thankful and blessed.
Many residents in this region who lived through Hurricane Katrina are now having to start over a second time.
I lost my mom too, so everything is just recurring over again to me, in my mind.
More than 20,000 people have been rescued in the state since the flooding began Friday, and the danger isn't over. Scattered storms and showers are still in the forecast here through the end of the week. Don Champion, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And more than 30 parishes in Louisiana have been declared disaster areas. Today, Governor Edwards there will be meeting with federal officials to discuss the ongoing recovery effort.
The Richmond City Commission is gathering this morning to discuss the pay scale for city police. Supporters of the pay raise proposal say it's all about keeping officers on the force. As of mid-July, Interim Chief Bob Mott said 15 officers had left the department so far in 2016. He said almost all of them had gone to other departments. He said they have 31 patrol officers for the city. In an interview last month, Richmond Mayor Jim Barnes said he wanted to be sure a pay increase would make financial sense for the city. Chief Mott said last month a pay increase would be crucial to public safety.
Our department is very, very young, and obviously young officers make mistakes, and that's not what we want. We want, a group of senior guys to stay in there to, help guide the way, and we don't have that because we got so many people leaving.
Longtime Commissioner Robert Blythe indicated that he would call for a compromise to get the pay raise initiative moving at this morning's meeting.
A contract awarded by Governor Bevin to investigate former Governor Steve Beshear's administration has survived a challenge in Frankfort. The State Government Contract Review Committee did not have enough votes to recommend canceling that $500,000 contract. Governor Bevin has hired an Indiana law firm to investigate what he calls corruption within the Beshear administration. Beshear has denied doing anything wrong.
Some of the winners of this year's Governor's Awards in the Arts say they don't want it. The Appalachian Poets Group rejected the Community Arts Award. Group members posted their reasoning on Facebook, denouncing Governor Bevin's actions and positions on issues such as arts education, health care, and criminal justice reform. The writers tell us they have not gotten a response from the governor's office, but they have received a lot of feedback from the community.
Poetry is about community, and poetry is about people learning to speak to each other about what matters to them. In that sense, the response to this has really reinforced that core belief of the group.
A spokesperson for the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet tells us that, to their knowledge, this is the first time an award like this has been rejected. We're told there will not be a replacement name for the ceremony in October. There has been no comment from the governor's office.
State police say 2 suspects wanted in connection to a Lee County murder case are in custody this morning. Jay Shoemaker and Reagan Griffin both face complicity charges for the murder of Bobby Roark. State police say both were arrested last night on Rock Lick Road in Breathitt County. Police say Roark and James Brown were both shot to death earlier this month in separate incidents in Lee County. 4 other people have also been arrested in connection to those murders.
Donald Trump is looking to regain momentum a day after laying out his anti-terror plan. Speaking from Ohio yesterday, the Republican nominee called for extreme vetting of immigrants to keep people with radical views from entering the country. Hillary Clinton, who campaigned with Vice President Biden in Pennsylvania yesterday, slammed Trump's proposals as outrageous and dangerous.
Frankfort police are crediting man's best friend for helping them track down a suspect who ran off during a traffic stop. Police pulled over Aramberto Hernandez over the weekend. They say he was under the influence and appeared to have marijuana with him. But when police tried to arrest him, they say he ran off. While searching a nearby neighborhood, police heard Patrick O'Neill's dog named Titan barking. O'Neill says he then gave police permission to check out his backyard.
That's where he was hiding out until Titan ran him out. And then he took off from around there.
And police say Hernandez punched an officer in the face and put an officer in a chokehold before they arrested him. He's now facing several charges, including assault of a police officer and resisting arrest. As for Titan, O'Neill says, well, he rewarded his guard dog with a steak dinner.
Well, one of Lexington's Applebee's restaurants will be closing in the coming weeks. Our news partners at the Lexington Herald-Leader report the Applebee's on Richmond Road in front of Southland Christian Church will be closing. The manager told the newspaper that the restaurant has lost its lease on the location. An exact closing date has not been determined, but managers say it could be as early as the end of this month.
All right, a change there.
We'll keep it right here this mid-morning. We'll take you to Tennessee, where 2 animals have defied the odds and become buddies.
Interesting story there. And out in Hollywood, they rolled out the red carpet again. This time it was for a new comedy.
It looks fantastic out there right now, but that is going to change here in the next few hours. You'll start to see some showers, thunderstorms slide on in. I'm showing you when they pop up and how much you can expect coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Pretty much anywhere you look, it actually looks really nice outside. The farther west you are right now, the better likelihood of seeing the cloud cover. And the farther east, well, the better likelihood of actually staying pretty clear. Look at Moorhead, Jackson, Corbin. All looks well. Then go into the central zones, Lexington and Frankfort, mixture of sun and clouds. And then work your way back toward E-Town, Bowling Green, Louisville. Now you're talking about mostly cloudy skies. So obviously, places far east look really, really nice. And then the central zone's not all that bad. Western zones, here comes the rain here in the next few hours, and you'll start to see that really be on the increase toward the afternoon. Not a whole lot going on right now. You're seeing a few little blips kick up just to the north and just to the northwest of Bowling Green, and that is what's going to ride right into our viewing area. It doesn't look impressive now, but get the daylight heating going on, and you should experience at least a passing shower or thunderstorm. At least most of us will hear some thunder outside later on today. So there's a low pressure system just to the north of us. It'll slowly scoot eastbound. Finally, that system in Louisiana has dwindled away for the most part in that area, and that's what was blocking this from moving. I mean, it was just saying, yeah, you're not moving just yet, okay? Wait till I get out of the way, then you can pass. And that's exactly what's happening. Finally, we'll start to see that front move on through the next 48 hours. Let me take you hour by hour. High resolution model. Plan out the rest of your day. You got the kids at school, or even if you have kids at home still, little bitty ones, you're trying to run out and knock out some errands before the rain moves in. 1 p.m. to about 3 p.m., watch for these storms to slide on in, and there'll be heavy downpours. There's no doubt about that. You will get some heavy rain like yesterday. Yesterday, I picked up this much rain in my yard. Zero, zilch. I didn't even get a sprinkle yesterday, not even close to my house. But eastern Kentucky, some spots picked up 2.5 inches of rain. That's the way it's going to be the next couple of days, as some see the rain, some do not. And if you do, boy, it is heavy downpours. That is for sure a lot of lightning as well. Now, we track off into the night and into tomorrow, and that'll give us still some more chances of rain. But the severe threat is going to be for everybody, and that is a marginal risk, which means very isolated. A stray cell is possible, and that's about it. This is no widespread severe weather, no widespread flooding, nothing like that. But nonetheless, you're still dealing with at least the chances of some thunderstorms in the forecast. That's today and tomorrow. Then, guys, the temperatures start to drop, and so do the rain chances. But still, you'll have a chance all the way through the weekend. 79 degrees showing up next Monday. That's pretty nice. That's music to the ears right there.
Yes.
Take away that humidity. That's what we really need.
I think it sounds like a grand idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that way Barbara won't need a headband, you know, for sweat and so forth. Right?
Exactly
What
right.
a thought. I could at least do that this week, though.
Right.
Well, usually you see it only in a Hollywood movie or on the internet. Animals from two different species actually becoming friends.
But here they are. Take a look here. A dog and a duck. George the dog lost his best friend, Blackie the lab, 2 years ago, and since then he's been really depressed to the point of starvation. But last week, Jackie Litton looked out her back window to see a duck, which has not left George's side since. George lets the duck sleep on his bed and even lets the duck rest its bill on his leg. So they're really getting along.
Duck's best friend. There you have it.
There you go. Companions.
Well, a red carpet welcome for war dogs, plus a pink slip for Larry Wilmore.
And Bill Cosby loses a round in court. Daniel Nottingham has your eye on entertainment.
A federal court rejected Bill Cosby's appeal to reseal the deposition in which he talked about extramarital affairs and prescription sedatives. The comedian's attorneys argued the testimony could hurt his reputation, but the court ruled it's already public knowledge. Comedy Central is canceling The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. Wilmore took over Stephen Colbert's slot last year. The network's president says the show has failed to resonate with viewers. Oscar winner Natalie Portman lit up the red carpet at the New York premiere of A Tale of Love and Darkness. The Oscar winner is both star and director of the film, which is set in the early years of Israel's independence.
The story is very much a family story, a story between a mother and a son, and an immigrant story, a story of what it's like when you idealize a country before you get there, and then you get there and it's not exactly what you expect.
A Tale of Love and Darkness arrives on Friday in limited release. Also opening Friday, the true story of two young men who land a $300 million contract with the Pentagon. Jonah Hill and Miles Teller came out for the Los Angeles premiere of War Dogs. The film also stars Bradley Cooper as a shady middleman. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Hope you keep it here now on Mid-Morning on WKYT, celebrating those who give so much to the healthcare industry.
Find out about Baptist Health's celebration of care next. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $52 million, and tomorrow's Powerball is $94 million.
Welcome back in. It's Mid-Morning, and we're sure glad you're with us here on WKYT. It's a night that is set aside to honor community health care leaders. The Baptist Health Foundation is holding its annual celebration of care.
We're happy to be joined by Barry Stumbo and Betty Sims with the Baptist Health Foundation, and we do welcome you. Glad to have you in here today.
Thank you, Bill.
Appreciate it very much. Before we talk about the event and all you have planned, Barry, tell us what the celebration of care really is.
Well, it's actually, we're going to be honoring one of our longtime physicians, Dr. Elvis Donaldson, Susan Jackson, who is also formerly director of our radiation program, and we're honoring Ann Bacus from Kentucky Eagle for her contributions to cancer care and cancer awareness throughout central Kentucky.
Betty, I know you've been working very hard on this, and part of that motivation has to be that the event benefits the new cancer center. Talk about that facility. What does it mean to be involved in this?
Well, we're so excited. Over the last few years, our cancer program has just taken off and grown. And we're so excited to be in our new cancer center, which we moved over at the end of February. And probably the biggest benefit and what we as staff find most rewarding, and also for the patients, is that we're all together and we have the state-of-the-art equipment, and patients only have to walk a few feet to be at their medical oncology office or at radiation oncology or for the chemo treatments, and it's just, we're so excited.
How does this foundation, help step things up in terms of care and maybe some of the equipment that's available?
Well, Bill, one of the things that we do is our mission is to support the equipment, technology, program, and service needs of the hospital. And the hospital would have to raise somewhere between $20 and $100 for every dollar that they get privately. So if we give the hospital $1 million a year, they would have to raise somewhere between $20 and $50 million a year in gross revenue to meet the private giving. So really, it has huge impact. Private donations to the hospital, a lot more than most people think.
Betty, the celebration of care, what's it going to be like for people?
It's going to be great. I mean, it has grown so much this year, much beyond our expectations. And so we're expecting around 400 people. We have a cocktail hour. We have a wonderful silent auction that offers, art, entertainment, dining, just a little bit of everything for anyone that's going to attend. We also have moved to the tech side, and so we're going to do mobile bidding, which we're very excited about that. And our silent auction will actually open up on mobile bidding, hand bid. So for anyone that's interested, they can download that app. But our auction will open up August the 22nd on Monday. And then we have a dinner, and then we do our honoree program, and then we have a band afterwards. So it's a fun-filled night.
It's all on Friday night, August 26th at Keeneland
Anything you could
Center.
want. All right.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Well, stay with us here on Mid-Morning, checking in with Mr. Food next. Welcome back. Chinese cabbage and chicken salad is a favorite in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Sounds really good. It's the homemade Asian-style dressing that really makes it special.
This time of year, we get lots of requests for recipes that are lighter, fresher, and ones where you don't have to heat up the kitchen. So rather than suggesting just any old salad, we came up with an Asian-inspired chicken salad that is incredible. We start by sautéing a few chicken breasts that we've cut up in a little sesame oil just until they're cooked through. Now we take those out of the pan and add a bit more oil, along with some sesame seeds and minced garlic. Once they're golden, we add some soy sauce, vinegar, sugar, and a little vegetable oil. And we'll let that simmer. That'll be our dressing. While this is doing its thing, we add some snow peas and carrots, our cut up chicken, and the dressing to our Chinese cabbage. And all that's left to do is toss everything together, and what we end up with is an incredible main dish salad that comes together in minutes. So if you're looking for a change of pace dinner idea, go online and get the recipe for our Chinese cabbage and chicken salad. One forkful is all it'll take, and you'll fall in love with it. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresh and tasty way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, looks pretty good.
Not bad. I try my best just
What
to
an
be
endorsement.
like, hey, all these look great.
Okay, what an endorsement
They
there.
do not look good to
Two
me.
meat
I'm
and
sorry.
potatoes. I
I'm
know.
sorry. 7-day forecast. Storms around today. Few storms for tomorrow. And then we start to drop the rain chances just a bit. They're not as rainy the next few days after that, but temperatures do decrease.
That's
All
good.
right, that's really good. Thank
We
you.
hope you join us. We'll have the latest news and, of course, update the weather forecast on WKYT News at noon.
Make it a great day. We hope to see you right back here at noon.